I'm Dr. Anumirilas. I'm here to teach you about solid waste management and landfill. Today in this class we'll be studying about the disposal of solid waste. We are going to study about one method, that is composting. So we will be studying in detail about composting and the methods involved in composting. So composting means, you all know that it's a biological method in which putrescible organic matter means the material that which it can be decay. So decaying material is putrescible. So there will be putrescible organic matter in which solid waste or refuse is digested. So composting will be a biological method. You should know that it is a biological method because bacteria is decomposing the waste material, that is the organic matter. The material which can be decayed will be degraded, or decomposition will be done using the bacteria. That's why it is a biological method, and it is a hygienic method which convert the refuse into nitrogen rich humus. So nitrogen rich humus, so it can be nitrogen rich humus means it can be used in the case of agriculture field as a fertilizer. Due to composting, the volume of refuse is very much reduced. So when we do composting, what will happen is the refuse volume of the refuse will be reduced because bacteria will be decomposing the material, and finally the volume will be reduced, and the resulting matter become free from pathogenic organism. Pathogenic means disease causing. Pathogenic means disease causing organisms. That is what pathogenic meaning. So basically composting is an aerobic process. So we are doing in the presence of oxygen because it involves piling of refuse and regularly turning into ensure sufficient supply of oxygen. So aerobic process, so we are doing in the presence of oxygen. Here you can see supply of oxygen is given. So what is meant by composting? That is first of all a biological method, and we are doing composting for the putrescible organic matter, that is the organic matter which is going to decay. So we are using some bacterial agents. In this case, with the help of bacterial agents we are generating nitrogen rich humus, and when we do composting the volume of the refuse will be reduced a lot, and this will result the matter which is what we are generating from the composting will be free from pathogenic organisms. So we are doing composting in the presence of oxygen, so it is called as a aerobic process. So when we do the aerobic process, that is composting, the oxidation of the organic matter is happening. So there will be particular temperature rise will be seen at that time, that is 60 degrees in 3 to 4 days time. So this needs to be maintained for next 4 days, that is to kill the pathogenic microbes. When we get the final output, the pathogenic microbes should not be there. So to kill the pathogenic microbes we have to maintain that same temperature for next 4 days, and later on the pile is turned more frequently to slow down the reaction for another 4 to 5 weeks, and at the end of the composting process we will allow the material to cure, that is to gain its strength. We will allow the material to cure for 2 to 8 weeks. So at that time it will gain its strength, and the total volume reduction will be occurred at that time. So volume reduction will happen at the end about 50%, and when we get the product it will be in dark brown color. The product will be in dark brown color with an earthy smell. So this is what happened in the case of composting. So methods of mechanical composting. There are two methods are there. One is indoor and the next one is Bangalore method. Indoor means it is a aerobic pathway only, and in this case what we are doing, we are putting some layers of vegetable waste and night soil. Night soil means human excreta, or it can be a fecal, it can be called as a fecal sludge. So this one is a human excreta, or it can be a fecal sludge. Okay, so we will put a layer of vegetable waste, and above that we will put a layer of fecal sludge. So this is what we are going to do in the case of indoor method. So in the we will be keeping a trench, so we will make a trench. So in that trench we are putting all those things, and we are doing the indoor method. So in this, layers of vegetable waste and night soil are alternately piled in depth of about 7.5 to 10 centimeter up to a total depth of about 1.5 meters. So total depth will be of the trenches 1.5 meters, or it can be done above the ground. So we will be adding chemicals. So chemicals are added to prevent the fly beating. Only to prevent the fly beating we are adding the chemicals in that. So this material we will keep for 8 to 12 weeks and then stored on the ground for 4 to 6 weeks. So in about 6 to 8 turning, in about 4 months time the compost become ready. So how much time is required for the compost? 4 months are required, and during that time we will be mixing it for 6 to 8 turnings. So the compost will be ready as a manure form in the case of an indoor method. So indoor method we are doing alternately piled with vegetable layer, vegetable waste layer, and also with the night soil. Coming with the Bangalore method. So in this method the refuse is stabilized anaerobically. So in the previous one it was aerobic one. So in the previous one you might have noticed that it is aerobic pathway. So this is the aerobic pathway in the case of indoor method. That's why we are doing the 6 to 8 turnings to get the oxygen inside. But when it comes to the indoor method, it is a stabilized anaerobic one. This does not require turning or handling of mass. It is clearer the indoor method, hence widely adopted for municipalities throughout India. So this is what adopted by the municipalities throughout the India. The earth trench size is given here. The earth trench size is 10 into 1.5 to 1.5 meter deep, and we will fill with alternate layers of refuse. So same like previously, we are putting with alternate layers of refuse and night soil or cow dung, and the material will be covered with 15 centimeter and a height of 15 centimeter with good earth, and we will keep it for decomposition. So how much time we are keeping it for decomposition? It will be about 4 to 6 months, and the compost become ready at that time. And finally, after the compost is ready, what we will do, the humus will be sieved through 12.5 mm sieve to remove the broken glass, stones, etc. from that. And a city will be producing almost 200 to 250 kg per capita per year of refuge, and 8 to 10 kg per capita per year of night soil. So a town of 10,000 population will produce about 2,000 ton of refuse and 800 ton of night soil. So how for this 2,000 ton of refuse and 800 ton of night soil, how much will be the compost will be produced? So we can produce the composting will produce about 1,400 to 1,680, that is 50 to 60% of compost will be generated annually. So this is what is called as composting. So the methods of composting. Methods of composting include bin composting. Bin means you all know that we will be keeping the waste material in a bin. Production of compost in a bin. So we will give natural aeration in this case. For natural aeration we will provide turning will be done and will be providing natural aeration. The compost mix is turned using, it will be mixed, we will not use our hands, we are mixing a tracker, front end loader to mix the waste. We will turn the waste intermittently so that natural aeration will be entering that. And bin composting, it is a low technology, medium labor approach. So laborers require a medium labor approach, producing a medium quality product. So this is what a bin composting called. So here you can see the image of bin. So this is made of a wooden bin unit. There are 3 components are there. In this we will be putting the waste and we will mixing the waste intermittently. We will turn the waste intermittently so that natural aeration will be happen in such case. The next method of composting is passive windrow composting. The production of composting in pile or windrow. Windrow meaning is it will be, the waste will be kept like you might have seen the straws, paddy straws will be kept. It will be like a heap. This is the heap. So it will be in the shape of a round. So it is in the round shape. Okay, and it will be above the ground and it will be in the shape of a heap. So that is what windrow means. So compost is produced by natural aeration will be given over long period of time. So passive windrow composting represent, it's a low technology and labor approach. So attention to details such as porosity of the initial mix, uniform product mixing, and particle size greatly improves the speed of the process. So based on the particle size and how we are mixing the product, everything will be improves the speed of the process. Covering the windrow with a layer of finished compost. So in this windrow, the inside this will be completely filled with the waste material. So this windrow has to be covered with a layer of finished compost. Why? Because the finished compost will avoid, so it will prevent the moisture loss from the waste, and also it will reduce the odor issues, reduce the odor problem, and produce a more uniform compost. The composting in these windrows can take, the time will be taken 6 months to 2 years. This is what meaning by passive windrow composting. So as I already told, this is a windrow. Here you can see this is the windrow. So what is the width and height is mentioned here. So there will be an unpleasant odor will be generated, so in the anaerobic region, and may begin to emanate from the composting material. So here you can see unpleasant odor will be there, so that we will cover with the already completed material. So the compost will be used to cover it. And since rapid composting can take place in the presence of oxygen, compost normally require 3 years to stabilize. So it want almost more time to stabilize the waste. So the next one is turned windrow composting. Turned windrow composting is production of compost in windrow using mechanical aeration. In this, we are giving mechanical aeration. So the compost mix is aerated by a windrow turner that is powered by, we are using a farm tracker or self-powered or self-propelled equipment. We are using that for giving mechanical aeration. This is also a low technology and medium labor approach. So complete decomposition and destruction of the disease causing organisms, that is pathogens, will be achieved only by turning the center of the pile at the outer edge in such turn. So windrows will be turned frequently at first and then at lower interval by the end of first month. So temperature will be maintained in such cases, and the temperature will be checked using gauges, and we will see the temperature, and proper aeration will be given through mechanical aeration. So temperature will be measured inside the windrow. In that, the temperature will be measured inside the windrow using the gauges. So we have to check the temperature, how much is the heat produced in that, and control of heat production has to be done in such cases. And windrow composting can produce excellent compost using a variety of diverse material. So waste such as manure, solid, fish waste, poultry mortalities can be composed with bulk agents such as sawdust. So we will mix the manure, solids, fish waste, etc. will be mixed using sawdust, straw, and recycled paper products, and we will make a proper composting in this turned windrow composting method. Coming to the aerated static pile composting, the production of compost in pile or windrows is, here also it's a mechanical aeration is given. So here we will be keeping the pile or the windrow above the air duct. So we will be keeping the windrow or pile above the air duct, and aeration is achieved by proper blowing. Aeration is achieved by proper blowing or drawing air. So aeration system can be relatively simple. Using electric motors can be used to give proper aeration, fans can be kept, or ducting can be done for giving proper aeration. So in this method also, it's a medium technology and low labor approaches here. So in this image you can see that here the mixed raw material is given here. You can see the mixed raw materials is given here, and the cover layer. So there will be a cover layer above the waste material is given, that is this one, a cover layer with finished compost will be done. Why we are doing that is we have to avoid the breeding of the mosquitoes or smell odor has to be avoided. So nuisance has to be avoided. For that we will cover with finished compost. And here you can see a perforated pipe is there. So here a blower is there. You can see the blower here. Through the blower we will be providing the aeration. So air will be given inside and proper aeration will be done in this case. This is a mechanical aeration is done. Aeration is done in this case. So aerated static pile composting, as I already told, the initial material should have a adequate porosity, and airflow system should work properly and provide adequate airflow uniformly during the active compost period to all areas of the file. These are the two basic important points we have to remember when we go with the aerated static pile composting. So the last one is in vessel composting. So here you can see it is in the shape of a vessel. The production of the compost is in drums. It can be in drums, in silos or channels. So channels can be given. So at high rate of controlled aeration system designed to provide optical condition. There will be a high rate controlled aeration system will be given in this. You can see the image, it is like a channel. Aeration of the material is accomplished by continuous agitation using aerated machine. So using the aerated machine, proper agitations will be given which operate in concrete base. Concrete base, fans providing airflow from the ducts built in the concrete floor. So here the aeration fans are provided, you can see here. So here small dots are there, these are the aeration fans. So proper aeration is given here. This is the compost turner. You can see a button here. See this, there is a button. So with that turning, that a compost turning can be done, so we can mix the compost properly. So compost turner transfer that compost into the trolley, and pre-mixing can be done in such cases. So the finished compost will be removed from this side. From this end we will be removing the finished compost and we will put that into the truck. So this is how a channel works. This is the in-vessel composting. So in-vessel composting represent a high technology. So this is a high technology and low labor approach. So it produces a uniform product here. So this is what in-level composting. So here you can see the different methods what I had explained right now. You can go with the table, you can see the summary of the table. So in passive windrow we had studied right now. Second one is turn windrow. Third is the aerated static pile. Fourth is the in-vessel channel. These are the 4 types of composting we had studied in today's class. So you can go through this table. You can see the labor, how the labor comes in each method, about the site, whether the site large land is required or small area is required, and what is the bulking agent in that, and the size of that particular composting, everything you can see, and the process control, what all are required and what are the factors to be noticed. Everything is explained clearly like a comparison in this table. You can go through it, and I hope you understood the class well. So thank you everyone. We will see in the next class with other topic. Thank you.